Welcome back to Endless Learning, and today in this particular video we'll be discussing about the Fiedler's contingency theory. And this theory again is based on the contingency. As I already have told you that we have three types of theories in leadership. First is the trait theory, second is behavior theory, and second is the contingency theory. And this Fiedler model is one of the theories of contingency. Now, what do you mean by contingency? This already have been discussed in previous videos as well. These are the situation-based theories. That is, you only can become a leader when the situation favors you, when the situation supports you. So I'll just give you a simple example to make you fully understand. When Mahatma Gandhi came to India, obviously India was one under the colonial rule of the British, and that is the reason there were so many situations which favored Mahatma Gandhi at that time, and he became a leader of people. And if what if India had already attained the freedom before Mahatma Gandhi came to India, then as simple as that, he would not have become the father of nation. So this is how the situation has to support you, how the situation favors you. And for a leader, a situation needs to be an ideal, and that's what contingency theory means. Now, this Fiedler contingency theory, it was given by the Fred Fiedler in mid 1960s. He was a scientist and he studied the personality and the characteristics of the leaders. Now, this theory is based on two things. First is the leadership style, and second is the situations that you control to the leader. Now, this model states that there is no one best style of leadership, and instead, a leader's effectiveness is based on the situation. And this is the result of two factors, like we have leadership style, and second, we can say the situations that you control to the leader. We can say that these are the situational favorableness or the situational control, we can say. Now, how the Fiedler measured the leadership style, and for that, he developed a survey as LPC, that is least preferred coworker scale, and this scale consists of the 16 adjectives that are opposite in nature. Fiedler here made an assumption that the leadership style is fixed. Fiedler believed that leadership style is fixed and it can only be measured using a scale that he had developed, that is an LPC scale, least preferred coworker scale. Now, first I'll tell you the application, the steps, that how you have to apply the scale and how you have to identify the leadership style, and then I'll explain all the steps to you. So, for the application of the Pedillars contingency model, first step is to identify your leadership style, second step is to identify your situation, and third step is to determine the most effective leadership style. As far as the first step is concerned, that is the identifying your leadership style, if you can look at here, this is the scale of LPC, and here you can see all the 16 adjectives that I was talking about, and we have two actually categories here. First is an unfriendly side and second is a friendly side. Like for one category, if you can see here, we have a pleasant and its opposite is unpleasant, or we have a tense and its opposite is relaxed. And when you apply this scale, and this scale simply asks you to think about a person who you have least enjoyed working with, and this can be a person who you have worked with in your job, in education or training, and then accordingly, as per these adjectives, as per these 16 adjectives given in the scale, you have to rate that person, and that is how you feel about that person. For each factor you have to rate him and add up your score. Like if your total score is high on LPC, and which means your leader, which means your leader be likely a relationship oriented leader. That is, if your score falls between 58 and 63, and if your total score is low, if your leader, as per your data, if it scores low on LPC, it means the leader is more likely a task oriented leader. And we already have discussed these two things in earlier videos also, and I won't discuss them again here. That means low score means if you score 57 or below on the LPC scale, and if you score more than 63, that again means the leader is a relationship oriented leader. So this is the first step, and second is to identify the situation. And for defining the situation, Fiedler took the three situations, and these were, the first situation was the leader member relation, and that means the degree to which the members respect and trust their leaders, which simply means, like the nature of interpersonal relationship between the leader and the followers, that may be expressed in terms of the good through poor, with qualifying modifiers attached as necessary. And it's obvious that the leader's personality and the personalities of subordinates that play an important role in the variable. Second is the task structure, and this means the degree to which the job assignments are procedural. Here the nature of the subordinate's task is described as structured, or we can say unstructured, that is associated with the amount of creative freedom allowed the subordinate to accomplish the task and how the task has been defined. Third is the positional power, and this is the degree of influence that leader has over power variables. And this is the degree to which the position itself, enables the leader to get the group members, to comply with and to accept his direction and leadership as well. Now, if you can look here, this is the diagram, and here you can see uh, you know, at one side of this particular diagram, you can see we have all three situations given that is here, and we have possibilities also like here how the leader member relation should be. Like at the first leader member relation should be, how the task structure should be, and how the leader position should be. And we have all two combinations. And for the leader member relations, we have two possibilities here. Like either your relation can be good or it is poor. And for task structure also, we have two possible combinations again here, either it is high or it is low. And for leader position power as well, we have two combinations, two possible combinations, either it is strong or it is weak. So this way it makes an 8 combinations, and this diagram, this particular diagram is based on these 8 combinations. And here the dotted line, it denotes the task oriented leader, and this solid line, it denotes the relationship oriented leader. Now look at these first three sections here. I'll make you understand and you will be able to get it. And if you can see here, the leader membership relationship is good, the task structure is high, and the leader position is strong. These three combinations. And as far as these three combinations are concerned, where we have good, high, and strong, so this means in this condition, the performance is good. Like here, the performance is good in in case of the task oriented, like this is a dotted line showing this is a task oriented, and in case of the relationship oriented, it is very poor. So this is how this diagram is being interpreted. So this model says that the task-oriented leaders usually view their LPCs more negatively, that results in the lower score. And Fiedler called these LPCs, that is the low LPC leaders. He said that the low LPCs, they are very effective at completing the task. They are quick to organize a group to get the task and projects done. So relationship building is a low priority. And however, the relationship oriented leaders, they usually view their LPCs more positively, giving them a highest score. So these are, we can say the high LPC leaders, and they focus more on the personal connections, and they are good at avoiding and managing the conflict as well. And they are better, better able to make the complex decisions as well. Now, so this is what the Fiedler model is all about. But this model is was not free from the criticism at all, and it was criticized for lacking the flexibility. And Fiedler believed that because of the natural leadership style, because of the natural leadership style is fixed, so the most effective way to handle the situation is to change the leader. He didn't allow actually the flexibility in leaders, and he was criticized for this. And second, he was criticized for having only the two alternatives, like either there were only two alternatives, either to change the leader or either to change the situation. So, if a low LPC leader is in charge of a group, with good relations and doing unstructured tasks, and he has a weak position, like the fourth position as here described, it has a weak leadership position in the fourth category. So then, according to the model, the best solution is to replace him with a high LPC leader. And instead of asking the leader to use a different leadership style, it is recommended, it's better to replace him with a high LPC leadership style leader. And for the third criticism, it was that he considered only the three situations in his model. And however, practically there could be different situations, but he considered only three situations, and for that he was criticized as well. Now there was another issue, like with the LPC scale. if the leader falls near the middle of the scoring range, that is here in the middle of that is a moderate range where we have the mix uh, you know um, of the favorable as well as for the unfavorable conditions, or we can say we have a mixture of these two adjectives here in the moderate level. And if any leader falls, if the score falls between these two, favorable and unfavorable, it would be very difficult, it would be very unclear for to actually categorize which style of the leader he adopts, which style actually the leader adopts. So he was criticized for this point as well. So this is all about the Pedillars contingency theory. I hope you have understood, and I hope you have enjoyed the session as well. So thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow again with a new topic. Till then, please stay home and save the lives.